Her groom ran mid-vow. Before Emma could breathe, the ground shook. 500 motorcycles stormed the chapel, led by the biker who had vanished from her life 8 years ago. He came with one mission: stop her from making the biggest mistake of her life. A sour organ note sliced through Pachelbel's cannon. Emma's hands trembled around the white roses her mother had forced on her. 300 guests stared from the pews of St. Catherine Chapel, faces glowing in stained glass light. "Do you, Daniel Marcus Foster, take this woman?" Her heart thundered. 18 months of planning led to this moment. Emma Reed becoming respectable Mrs. Foster, wife of the town's golden lawyer. Daniel's palm was slick with sweat. His voice cracked. He stared at the doors like a trapped animal. "Daniel," Father McMahon urged. "I can't." Whisper turned to shout. "I'm sorry, Emma." He dropped her hand and sprinted down the aisle, dress shoes slapping stone, jacket flapping as sunlight swallowed him whole. The chapel exploded in screams. Emma stood frozen at the altar, bouquet slipping from numb fingers. This couldn't be real. Then the ground shook again. Pews rattled, windows trembled, and a roar rose, hundreds of Harley engines. Guests scrambled outside. An ocean of chrome filled the country lane. The lead rider killed his engine and removed his helmet. Liam. Longer dark hair, stubbled jaw, storm-gray eyes that locked on hers and refused to let go. Liam Brennan, the boy who taught her to ride a bicycle at 7, kissed her under the bleachers at 16, and disappeared without a word 8 years ago. He swung off the bike, broader now, scarred, ink crawling up his neck like vines. "Emma." Every other rider cut their engines. Silence crashed down heavier than the roar. "What are you doing here?" Her voice broke. "Stopping you from marrying a cheater. Daniel's been sleeping with his assistant Jessica for 3 months. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Emma's mother shrieked, "You have no right." "I know," Liam said, eyes never leaving Emma. "But I couldn't let you tie yourself to someone who doesn't deserve you." Police sirens wailed in the distance. "Old Garage, Route 9, he told her. "If you want the truth, about Daniel, about me, you know where to find me." Engines thundered alive in perfect unison. Liam led the convoy away like a dark army, dust settling where both her groom and her first love had vanished. Emma stared at the diamond on her finger. It suddenly felt like a shackle. Police took statements for hours. Daniel confessed by phone, one drunken night with Jessica. It meant nothing. She hung up and let her father drive her to her late grandmother's isolated farmhouse to hide from the world. 3 days later she sat on the porch in sweatpants and flannel, watching the sunset bleed gold across empty fields. A single motorcycle growled up the long dirt driveway. Liam killed the engine and walked toward her slowly, hands visible. "You humiliated me in front of everyone," she said, voice shaking with 8 years of rage. "Then you ghosted me. Angry doesn't cover it." "My brother Jake was dying," he said quietly. "Stage 4 cancer right after graduation. Doctors gave him 6 months, he fought 3 years. I took care of him. I didn't want to chain you to hospital rooms and grief while you had college, a future." Emma's anger cracked, grief she never got to share flooding in. "So you decided for me? No goodbye. I thought it would be cleaner. I was wrong." The sky burned purple and orange. "Why crash my wedding?" He climbed the steps until they were face to face. "Because I couldn't watch you marry someone who doesn't see you the way I do, like you're the only real thing in a world full of fakes." Her breath caught. He stepped back. "One ride tomorrow. No pressure. Just to clear your head." He left before she could answer. That night the internet exploded. #RunawayGroom trending nationwide, slow-motion videos of Daniel sprinting, Liam removing his helmet like a movie hero, their old prom photos dug up and captioned, "Childhood sweethearts reunited." Tabloids screamed, "Biker gang terrorizes wedding." Reporters camped outside her parents' house. The country club canceled events. Her father's judicial appointment hung by a thread. Her mother called in hysterics, "Stay away from that man or you'll destroy this family." Sarah arrived with wine and brutal honesty. "You've spent 8 years dating safe, boring men because it's what they expected. Stop letting them write your story." Emma texted Liam, "Tomorrow 10 a.m. One ride." He arrived exactly on time. She climbed on behind him, arms around his waist, helmet on, and for the first time in years she had no plan. Wind stole her breath. The world blurred into green valleys and golden fields. She remembered how to feel alive. They stopped at a 1960s diner frozen in time. Over cherry pie he showed her the texts. Daniel joking about his ball and chain, explicit photos from Jessica, cold feet confessions he never acted on. You could have just told me, she whispered. Would you have believed a ghost from 8 years ago over your perfect fiancé? He was leaving in 3 weeks, cross-country with the club, maybe forever, unless he found a reason to stay. The ride home was tense. At the farmhouse he asked for those 3 weeks to prove leaving her had been his biggest mistake. She said she needed time. The town turned vicious overnight. Facebook groups called her shameless. Photos of her on Liam's bike racked up hundreds of hateful comments. Neighbors ignored her in stores. Daniel appeared at her car window, unshaven and honest for once. I was the coward. Don't let them make you the villain. Liam looked at you the way I never did. Her father stormed the farmhouse. End it or lose my judgeship, and this family. Fear one. She asked Liam for space. He rode away without a fight. 3 days locked inside, deleting apps, staring at empty fields. Sarah staged an intervention. You'll spend your life wondering, what if, unless you jump. Emma drove to the garage at dusk. One last ride. Tonight. Make it dangerous. They rode into the dark for hours. No destination, just highway and stars. Finally he pulled off at an overlook above a valley of lights. Tears came hard. I never stopped loving you, she said. Daniel was safe, expected. But he was never you. And you're leaving again? Liam cupped her face, thumbs wiping tears. Leaving you was my biggest regret. I love you, Emma. I never stopped, not one day. Come with me. Coast to coast. No timeline. Just us and the road. She stared at the man who had crashed her wedding and handed her freedom on a roaring engine. Yes. Next morning her parents were waiting in the driveway, faces gray with exhaustion. I'm going with him, she told them in the kitchen. Her father exploded, over my dead body. Leave with that man and you're no longer welcome here. No safety net, no family. Her mother sobbed. They drove away. Emma sat on the kitchen floor and cried until Sarah found her and held her. You have yourself now. That's enough. 3 weeks blurred. Furniture sold, library job quit, life packed into 2 duffels, farmhouse rented to a young city couple. Sarah bought her proper riding gear. They drank wine on the porch one last time and promised eternal friendship. Daniel called from Boston. Therapy, real apology, be happy, Emma. Departure day, 50 bikes at dawn in the town square. A crowd gathered, some waved, some scowled. Her old boss pressed Kerouac's On the Road into her hand. Father McMahon gave a quiet blessing. Her parents never came. Hawk, the silver-haired road captain, grinned. You'll ride your own iron soon, girl? Engines roared alive in rolling thunder. Emma climbed behind Liam, arms tight around his waist. Last chance to change your mind, he said over the noise. She looked back once, at the chapel where she almost married the wrong life, then forward to the open horizon. I'm done standing still. The convoy rolled out, past every cage she had ever accepted. The abandoned bride was gone. A woman finally choosing her own road smiled into the wind, terrified, heartbroken, gloriously free.